Tonight, lucky to be alive, a truckie flees the cab of his burning truck as onlookers watch on in horror. And Port Lincoln locals feeling helpless as homes are targeted in a series of break and enters.
From our 7 Spencer Gulf studios, your nightly news with Madeline Kerr begins now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. Horrocks Pass Road near Wilmington was engulfed in a fiery blaze this morning after a truck broke down and erupted. Plumes of thick black smoke and oil-fuelled flames could be seen billowing dangerously into the air, burning the nearby bushland. Onlookers watched on in shock as the truck seemingly caught fire from beneath as the flames came pouring out from under the cab. Thankfully, the driver managed to escape unharmed as emergency services raced to the scene about 15 kilometres from the Augusta Highway. At this stage, police believe the fire was caused by a mechanical failure in the prime mover. The road was blocked for several hours as authorities worked to clear the scene. Drivers are advised to detour via Pitchy Ritchie Pass or via the Augusta Highway until the area is completely safe. Port Lincoln police have arrested 8 people, including children, after a recent string of break and enters. Locals are left feeling helpless as officers work to reunite the stolen property with their rightful owners.
Asleep on her couch as thieves broke in during the night, sneaking in through this tiny laundry window. We won't show her face, but this local woman is still reeling from the home invasion.
To think that someone actually gotten through there without any noise, it's just, unbelievable.
Thieves took house keys and a wallet, locking the front door behind them as they left and taking off in the family's car. The stress keeping her awake at night.
It's taken about a week and a half, but I can sleep. For those first 4 nights, I couldn't sleep, and I'll do regular checks of the house.
As a mum of 3 young children, she's concerned about the safety of her kids.
It was just so frightening to think that if my kids got up at that moment, what would have happened.
After being dumped on Bel Air Drive, the site of numerous other break-ins, the stolen car was returned to the family, but in terrible condition.
I can barely even drive my son to school in the mornings because he complains about the smell and he doesn't want to get in the car.
She feels like the courts are letting the community down.
There are a lot of people who want to take action into their own hands. They feel like that they will get more done themselves than letting the justice do it.
In a separate incident, a young boy can be seen scoping out a home, the CCTV leaving the owners in fear. Police are urging businesses and homeowners to take extra precautions and make sure their security systems are up to date. Suspicious activity can be reported online or via the police assistance line on 131 444. Alison Hall, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Pirie Regional Council is looking at ways to improve the layout of the Solomon Town boat ramp. Popular with fishers all year round, locals are being encouraged to submit their ideas.
This is what your average morning looks like at the Solly boat ramp.
We have a number of issues that we're trying to resolve. We get a lot of long vehicles and caravans parking in the boat ramp car park, as well as people who just want to come down and sit and overlook the water and have their lunch.
However, Council's #1 priority is the boating and fishing community. And by upgrading, it's hoped manoeuvrability into the boat ramp is improved.
Trying to improve how when a boat arrives, it de-rigs, ready to launch, and also when a boat is retrieved from the water, how it is then rigged back up and washed down to take the boat home.
Council has already prepared several design options, which are available for viewing on their website. Recently, LED lights were installed to improve visibility for early morning trips. and it's hoped a more streamlined car park will finalise the area and see it used to its full potential.
Council received $100,000 from Primary Industries and Regions SA towards improving the layout of the car park, and Council's also contributing another $50,000 in cash and $15,000 in kind to manage the program.
To have your say on the future of this popular destination, visit Council's website. Consultation closes next week. Annabella Francis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The City of Whyalla is urging locals to complete the event survey before it closes on Monday night. The mass campaign is designed to find out what type of events the people want as the Still City expands its social calendar.
An informal plebiscite for the people of Whyalla. The event survey is available online and on paper for residents to voice their ideas for what events could take place here.
We know we're going to get that typical 1,001 that won't be able to cater for everybody. But yes, we want some input because council members and administration, we actually have a workshop coming up very soon. Unfortunately, it is a very short timeline for people to respond with your ideas.
As Whyalla ramps up its bid to bring more events to the public, Mayor Phil Stone is interested in hearing from those who know the city best.
You don't have to go into detail about how much we should spend or the likes, but what would you like to see in Whyalla for your own enjoyment, but also to attract visitors?
Hundreds of people have already submitted their surveys to the City Council, all bringing a diverse range of ideas that could be the next big thing.
Wow of an idea out there that nobody's ever thought of, and it's just out in the community waiting to tell us. So again, I'd encourage the community to respond to that survey.
Survey submissions close on Monday at 5 p.m, while the Council's event workshop will be held early next month. Daniel Pizarro, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, we tour the newly renovated Lifeline Tip Shop in Broken Hill. And Napaby CFS score new equipment from Nearstar in the hopes of recruiting more volunteers. Welcome back. Lifeline Broken Hill's revamped tip shop officially opened today. Workers welcoming the people through the doors after a ribbon cutting ceremony. The upgrades were made possible thanks to funding from the Stronger Country Communities Fund.
It was a nice day for a ribbon cutting. Broken Hill City Council is in attendance for a tour around the upgrades. $664,000 from the Stronger Country Communities Fund.
It was so exciting to have everyone here and we could show off what we've achieved. Yeah, it was brilliant. So we were able to build our new shop and the new nursery here.
Lifeline CEO Scott Hammond says it's been a long but rewarding journey to get to this point.
We've learned a lot along the way, and it's just great to be able to officially launch it and get the community support and continue to do the great work that we do.
Money spent at the tip shop goes back into Lifeline Broken Hill Country to Coast. And with those funds, the organisation has been able to hire 2 more counsellors.
Along the journey, we've gone from being able to generate around 60,000 to now 350,000, which has in turn then been able to afford us to recruit an extra 2 counsellors along the way.
The Mayor thankful to see Lifeline hiring extra staff.
Lifeline's really important. Counselling services are really important for anyone. You always got to have someone that you can have a talk to, someone that can help you through some dark times.
Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Like most country organisations, the CFS is desperate for volunteers, and the Napaby unit is no exception. But this morning, Nearstar put a smile on some faces by offering up a very generous gift.
This new shiny laptop will go a long way at Napaby Country Fire Service.
Nearstar's been nice enough to donate a laptop to us so we can engage members that are on holidays or unable to get to meetings.
Napaby CFS meet regularly to touch base with their volunteers, putting their heads together to pass on important information and discuss any concerns members may have. This donation is more than just a computer. It will help everyone stay connected.
Clinton spoke to me this morning about how there's quite a group of Neostar employees who volunteer their time at the CFS to keep Port Pirie and the surrounding region safe.
As a successful global multi-metals business, it's hoped Neostar continues giving back to the community. This donation is proof that a small act of kindness can go a long way in terms of boosting morale and abilities.
Everywhere that has volunteers needs more volunteers. CFS, everywhere. The importance is, especially in rural areas and regional areas, is crazy because we can't have paid ones everywhere.
Annabella Francis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us. After the break, Aussie musos Adam Harvey and Becky Cole bring their candid tour to the regions. And getting creative at the Port Augusta foreshore, talented kids put their sandcastle skills to the test. Welcome back. The Liberal and Nationals government is promising to attract big-name musicians to regional areas like Broken Hill if they're re-elected. The promise is part of the Headline Act Touring Fund.
Bringing the stars of music to the people without leaving the comfort of your hometown.
Now, we all know that people like to see some of the big performers out here in regional New South Wales, but we don't want people having to travel from the bush into the city. We want to bring people from the city out into regional New South Wales.
The Deputy Premier says regional centres can cater for big-name acts, using Sir Elton John as an example.
Now, we've got the facilities and we're able to cater for big headline acts. In the past, we've seen people like Elton John that have performed in Bathurst. We've seen over 20,000 people that have actually gone and seen that concert.
We've seen the likes of Midnight Oil and Jimmy Barnes rocking on the Monday Plains. Why not Ed Sheeran, Harry Styles or even Taylor Swift?
We already know that Taylor Swift is actually working on her plan for next year, and we want to make sure that Australia and regional New South Wales is front and centre for that decision.
Attracting acts to the regional parts of the state will give the local economy a major boost.
It means more people staying at our hotels and motels. That's more heads on beds. That's people that are eating out. That's an injection into the local economy, and it supports regional New South Wales. And we have so much to offer in the regions.
Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Quorn rocked well into the night on Friday as Adam Harvey and Becky Cole roared into town as part of their national tour. Cole was open about her mental health struggles, while Mr Harvey dedicated a song to our country music-loving reporter, Daniel Pizarro.
Quorn is rapidly becoming the go-to place for concerts, with country music royalty rolling into town. Adam Harvey and Becky Cole thrilled over 200 people at Town Hall with a night of fun.
Last time I was here we did a show called 500 Miles of Music, and that was back before COVID, so it's really nice to be back again, and the locals here are fantastic.
The Great Country Cookbook Tour, an album of the same name, is a nod to Becky's mental health recovery journey. The singer speaking openly about her struggles.
I had what they call rapid therapy, and it was life-saving, without a doubt, and they put me on all sorts of things, but I realised that I realised at the time that I was worthy of being here still, and that's a really important thing.
I was ringing her every day. She'd say I was driving her mad, but checking in on her. And then one day I said, look, what can I do? How can I help you? And she said, if I get through this, I want to go on tour again with you, because she said they're the happiest times of my life. And I was really, taken aback by that.
And with this reporter being a fan of Adam Harvey, he indulged with singing his big hit, The House That Jack Built.
Oh, just for you, mate, especially tonight.
Daniel Pizarro, 7 Spencer Golf News.
How wonderful. Meanwhile, it was a bit of fun in the sun in Port Augusta, with the annual Sandcastle competition seeing local kids get creative. Organised by the Rotary Club, the competition was held on the eastern foreshore, with this train sculpture a clear standout. The Rotary Club says the children had a fantastic time making their castles, as well as listening to the music, playing games and enjoying a splash in the harbour. Stay with us after the break. Up, down or around the same. Our weekly Fuel Watch segment is up next. And not quite as sunny tomorrow. We'll have the weather details with Alex Sykes. Welcome back. We're seeing an even spread of green and red arrows this week, with Port Lincoln seeing a drop in prices across the board. Throwing it over to Alison Hall now for this week's Fuel Wrap.
Thank you, Maddie. You're exactly right. We have 8 increases and 8 decreases this week, while 5 remain the same. Looking at unleaded, we've got 3 green arrows gracing Port Lincoln, Port Augusta and Adelaide, with Adelaide seeing the biggest drop, going from 187 to 169. Other areas didn't fare so well, with Port Pirie seeing the biggest increase at almost $1.85, and Broken Hill recording the largest unleaded price this week at $1.88. Looking at the diesel prices now, it's still St. Patrick's Day, with lots of green across the board. Port Lincoln, Port Pirie, Whyalla, Kadina and Adelaide can celebrate their price drops with an Irish jig, while Port Augusta and Broken Hill miss out. But things could be worse, as their prices have only risen by less than a cent. For those needing autogas, most towns remain the same. Port Lincoln stays at 126, Whyalla at 118, Port Augusta at 25, Kadina at 120 and Broken Hill at 123. Meanwhile, Port Pirie and Adelaide are recording massive spikes, with Pirie being hit by a 68-cent increase and Adelaide with a 61-cent increase. And that's all for fuel this week. Just remember, these prices reflect the regional average and do not reflect any one outlet. We'll see you next week with another update.
Thanks, Ali. It's time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather with Alex Sykes. Alex, I hear there's some rain coming. Can you tell us when?
Not for a few more days, Maddie. Possible showers are forecast across parts of the Spencer Gulf towards the end of the weekend, while Broken Hill can expect a drop or two next Tuesday. I'll have more on that in just a moment, but for now, let's look at some of today's temperatures. Mostly clear day in Port Augusta, 33, a sunny top of 28 in Whyalla. Port Lincoln reached 24 degrees, partly cloudy conditions there. Looking more broadly at today's weather map now, 35 was the warmest it got up in Cooper Pedy and Broken Hill. 34, the top in Port Pirie, Woodner and Kadina reached 30. Taking a look at the satellite image now. Scattered cloud over the west of the state ahead of a trough that's bringing the odd shower. Mostly clear skies elsewhere with a high pressure ridge over the west. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Southerly winds 10 to 15 knots, increasing up to 20 knots in the afternoon. Seas around a metre, increasing up to 1.5 metres, and south to southwesterly swell around a metre. Moving on to tomorrow's temperatures now, partly cloudy and set to reach a high of 23 degrees in Port Lincoln. Slightly warmer in Cleve, 24 there, between 13 and 29 in Woodner. A mostly sunny top of 25 degrees in Whyalla on Thursday. 27 degrees is forecast for Port Augusta, down to 19 tonight. Sunny skies on the way for our viewers in Kadina, also heading for a top of 27. Port Pirie will be 27, mostly sunny conditions there. Blue skies for Clare tomorrow, a high of 25 degrees. Sunny in Broken Hill, 34 degrees there tomorrow, down to 20 overnight. Taking a look further through the week now, starting with Friday's forecast. A sunny 29 in Broken Hill, partly cloudy and 27 in Port Augusta and Kadina. Possible morning fog in Port Pirie before a sunny afternoon, reaching 28 degrees. Between 14 and 23 in Port Lincoln, partly cloudy conditions with just a 5% chance of any rain. Moving on to the outlook for Saturday now, a sunny top of 29 in Broken Hill. For the first day of the weekend, the Silver City will get a few wind gusts of up to 30 kilometres an hour as well. Partly cloudy and 29 in Woodner and Port Augusta, 27 in Port Pirie, partly cloudy, a 10% chance of rain in Port Lincoln, partly cloudy and a top of 23. And finally, moving on to Sunday's forecast now, and this is where we see a bit of rain. Possible showers in Woodner, 27 degrees, and the chance of a thunderstorm west of Nullarbor. Bit of drizzle around Port Lincoln as well, 22 degrees there, partly cloudy and 28 in Port Pirie, 26 in Kadina. And that's all the weather from me for tonight. I'll see you a little later with an update. It's back to you, Maddie.
Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Wednesday. I'm Madeline Kerr. From all of us here, thanks for joining us. I'll have updates a little later, but until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.